are grasshoppers like crickets? Oh, seriously. Try it out. No, it's real. It's not a joke.
Okay, you are in. Yes, she's in.
Weird. It's a grasshopper.
I'm sure this is the first time you've eaten an insect as an appetizer. Do it. Ta-da!
Just imagine it's chicken.
Welcome to the future.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a challenge.
Oh, it's salt and lemon. Okay. No, I mean it tastes like lime and salt, like the texture.
So now he's like, oh, you all had one. I just had 5.
Yeah. Just to make sure I know what I'm talking about.
It's better.
My YouTube channel is a very small percentage of my online imprint, let's say.
Okay.
I only have posted maybe 10 Instagram posts ever.
Okay.
And still my business is where it is because I leverage an easy to access for me, an easy to access distribution channel, which was at the time my affiliates relationships, and then became my Facebook account through ads later. So it's more about finding the channel that suits you the best. Mm-hmm. So do you write easily? Do you record videos easily? Do you do audios easily? What is your...
Well, I think I can write decently.
Okay.
I can create video. I haven't done a lot of video. I've done a little bit.
Okay.
I'm kind of struggling to figure out, and I have to interview some more investors because I don't know that a course is really what they need.
Okay.
I think, because there are two things I want to do. One, I want to have like a group coaching kind of program, and I want to have high-end investor events for very small groups of people.
Okay.
Where it's not actually, it's not a lot of content. It's just going to be deal flow. Most of it is going to be, we'll go to Paris and go to all the 3-star Michelin restaurants.
Okay.
Or we're going to go to this special golf resort, or to really make the highlight fun events that they can't normally do on their own.
Okay, so that sounds like a great value proposition because hasn't been done this way before.
Yeah.
It's easy to build a 30-second pitch around it.
Yeah.
Now the question is, do you have access directly or indirectly to these investors or not?
Not really. I mean, that's something I need to figure out how to best connect.
Okay.
Because I know that a lot of them don't spend their time on Facebook or on Instagram. They're not really spending too much time on social media.
But you realize you have a disconnect between educating the wannabe investor about why not to go the Wall Street route versus going after the high net worth person who's probably already has investments.
Yes. Yeah.
Whose difficulty is not the same. So they are not thinking, well, am I going to work until I'm dead?
Yeah.
They are thinking, I'm not satisfied with my advisor.
Yeah.
I don't like the performance, or they're just not a great person. Whatever reason. So it's like you have to be careful that you're not building educational content that is for the wrong avatar.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So through more market study, using the interview process, that would tell you, like, one of the questions in these interviews and surveys is, where do you go to meet other investors like you? Like, you need to understand where they congregate. Is it online or?
And a question I had for you, because one thing that's kind of Another thing I'm trying to figure out is my avatar.
Okay.
My background, both my parents were doctors. Brother-in-law's a doctor. Ex-wife is a doctor. I was raised seeing how doctors face the struggle because they have no leverage. You know, they just only have two hands.
Okay.
And they usually make very poor investment decisions.
Yes.
They're taken advantage of, and they're the easy mark that all the stockbrokers are going after.
Yeah.
So, and I've seen this, and I was thinking maybe a niche I should have is specifically medical professionals, because I know what their behavior pattern is.
Okay.
You've got ego, which clouds their ability to, because they make snap decisions on investments.
Okay.
And they don't, not all of them know what a mobile home park is. And so for them, I can see there would be value in some kind of instruction to point out.
Instruction or service or
And so certainly not something like this. They don't need or have the time to do like 3 days, but they don't need that much, because I think it doesn't take that long to explain that.
Yeah, I would challenge that thought.
Okay.
But yeah, the more investment of time you're asking for, the more resistance you will meet. But still, in the room here, there are doctors trying to like figure out what's their next direction, because they are burned out and overwhelmed. Yeah. So they do attend non-medical events all the time. It does happen.
Okay. Do you think that's appropriate or good?
I love you. So you're wondering, should you like
focus on
dive deep into that segment? And I think it's an interesting segment because it's a fairly targeted. You know them. There is an obvious upside in terms of the average not net worth actually, but the average income range. To me, it does make sense, and especially it makes sense in a way that if it is successful as an experiment going after the medical professions, but not all medical professions, like the doctors, not the assistant nurse at General Hospital, right?
Sure, yeah.
But then if this experience is successful, then you either choose to build vertically and have more retreats and experiences and more expensive offers for the highest end of that group, or you decide, well, it's working so well for this group, maybe we should try opening it up to lawyers now, and then from there go into other professions.
So do you think it's smarter to be kind of profession specific first and then widen, or just make it broader, any high net worth investor?
No, I would definitely go the narrow avatar route.
Okay.
So much better because your languaging becomes clearer. You can talk about. You don't want to be seeing patients when you're 85.
Sure. Yeah.
You can be very specific. Yeah. And that always increases conversion. Well, almost always increases conversion. So.
Very good. And then for folks like surgeons and doctors who are very time constrained. I'm just challenged to figure out how to best connect to them, because they're not on social media, which most marketers say is your main engine.
They are on social media. Everybody is. They are.
Okay.
They are. Everybody is.
And so
So that's one way to get there. Clearly, if the hook is there, they will bite. It just happens. Now, they are also at live events, online. They read blogs. So it's a matter of finding the publication that they read. For instance, if your medium is writing, which I do, I've started doing guest posts for blogs, and I write these detailed, strategic blog posts that showcase my expertise, but also link back to my website, to my evergreen sequence. But I would challenge the thought that they are not on social media. They don't have time to watch cat pictures, there.
Sure.
But they have an account. They log in.
That's true. Everyone spends time.
Because everyone's there now.
Okay. Very good. Well, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Appreciate your advice. Thanks so much.
And thanks for the book.
All right.
So the last word, and after that you can just go to a salsa bar and dazzle the audience, is the cucaracha step, which is cucaracha.
Cucaracha.
Yes. So contrary to the other ones, we're not going back and forth. We start at the neutral position and we go a small step to the right with the right foot, but only this one moves, right? We put the weight back and come back. 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, and left foot. 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7, and 1. Mambo. 5, 6, 7. We finished what we were doing. So you have all 3 thirds of the salsa step. Like as a woman.
I love how I can imagine going to a salsa bar and I'm just like, oh yeah, you guys, I'm here to dance, and I'm just like this. Yeah, now you know. You're like, don't talk to me, I'm counting. Yeah, I'm just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And I'm just like, but yeah, well, catch up. Like, I'll get.
But I mean, when you're dancing with the dancer,
Yes.
all he leads you to do are these 3 steps.
Okay, so wait, so how would we dance together then?
5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3. Just with 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7. Easy, right? 1, 2, 3.
Teacher, you know he's a champion in this. Yes, it's.
I used to be quite.
Oh, so I'm not the first person you taught salsa to? At LaunchCon.
Oh, she's been asking me for salsa lesson for 5 PLF lives before I finally relented. Good afternoon. Okay, let me see your salsa moves.
Oh, wait. Wait.
Okay, you need a. Okay, it didn't stick.
Wait.
It's which foot is it always first?
Right foot.
Yes, and does it go forward or back first?
Forward. Back.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, yes.
We're getting closer.
4 weeks. I'm going to be
I wanted to ask you regarding story. I saw you did so much research and so much time and effort training yourself on story. I've recently come into the world of Donald Miller and Story Brand.
Okay.
And so, is this something that you like? How familiar are you with it?
I am
And
familiar.
do you like it,
I am
or
familiar with
does
it.
it seem like it's a good way to go to write copy?
It is a good framework. It's based
framework,
on the hero's journey, on Joseph Campbell's work.
And then stepping into the guide role, not the hero role.
Exactly.
Making the client the hero, and I'm the guide.
Still, it is useful to tell the client the stories of when you, as your own hero, went through it.
He says that what I understand of his training, he says your journey. So if I'm my hero journey is only important as it relates to my authority to solve the customer's problem and my empathy to understand where they are today. So it would be like, I know how you feel because I've been
there.
you,
Yes.
and this is how I solved it, and now I have empathy and authority because I've been there and I solved it. And and according to Donald Miller, that's the only part of your hero's journey that your client wants to hear about.
Okay.
That's what he said. In a nutshell.
I would expand just a little bit on that, because there's another part of the journey that creates the same empathy and authority.
Yeah.
That is another layer.
Okay.
Because the first part is your past journey.
Yeah.
I've been there, and I faced the same thing, and I tried all the possible solutions, and I came up with this.
Failed miserably.
Exactly. So that's part of it.
Yeah.
And for instance, so in my book, I'm one of the 9 characters. Like I tell that journey.
Okay. So you didn't share that from the stage.
Well,
At least you're not the one that died.
So I'm not the one that died off.
You're not that
Even
one.
though I'm very open about failed ventures through the journey, but I'm obviously one of the ones that succeeded, right?
Yeah.
However, your current journey as a now superhero mentor is also interesting to the customer as they see you attempt things that they think are not possible, but they do see the pitfalls and hard times and successes.
Now it becomes aspirational.
Exactly.
Because they see, oh my God, if they were like me before and they solved those problems, and now they're going to be my guide and help me solve those problems. Okay, that's awesome. And then, oh my God, look where they are now. And if they could do it, I can do it too.
Yes.
And so I hear what you're saying. So you want to tell your story at least to where you are today from the context of this is where you can be, kind of a thing.
Not this is where you can be in terms of maybe they don't want your current outcomes of what you're building, but the fact that you're doing larger than life things and that you're vulnerable and open about them and still rocking it. So let me give you an example. Speaking here at LaunchCon. So as a speaker, so my audience considers it's like I've got superpowers, I can speak to like 1,000 people and do all of this magic.
Yeah.
But I am open and vulnerable in the fact that I'm vlogging and whatever, to the fact that I would share that this 24 hours before I'm on stage, okay, I'm still not clear how this is gonna work. Like I have two different things that I want to make work together in my presentation. I still have to figure it out.
Yeah.
So it's still, for someone that's watching, it's like when you're watching Star Wars and you know this guy is a Jedi, he's probably gonna make it through. It's like, he has a laser saber, telekinesis, and super speed. He's gonna make it, right? So my people, they want a very specific outcome, which is a business outcome, okay? And they think I can walk on water. But I don't just show videos of me running on the water.
Right.
I also show myself on the side of the body of water being like, I'm not sure I can do this, which is actually true.
Yeah.
And like putting the foot and my foot is like slowly sinking into the water and being like, holy shit, how do I do it? But in the end, I do pull through, which is part of the inspiration and the message.
Gotcha.
Even though the actual walking on water is not what they would want for themselves, but it shows the congruence with the thing that I'm teaching.
It sounds like a little bit of stepping into possibility, like this is what's possible for me. Not that I'm going to go there, but now that I know that it can be done.
Expanding. I'm expanding, basically expanding the field of what's possible.
Yeah, got it. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Keep it up, man. This is good. So, you know, and it's nice you're like approachable. Like I was actually had left, and then they started playing Pink Floyd, and I love that song. And I came back, and then I'm walking, and then I'm like, oh. He's there. I got to ask him about the whole evergreen because everybody says, "Oh, go ask." You have to ask him about the evergreen. So now I understand that I'm not even doing evergreen.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet. Exactly. Not yet.
Merci d'avoir suivi cet épisode. Savez-vous que je publie mes conseils plusieurs fois par semaine au format audio? J'ai un podcast. Si vous allez sur entrepreneurlibre.com maintenant, entrepreneurlibre.com/podcast, vous pouvez écouter mes épisodes en audio et y accéder en voiture, en transport, en faisant de la gym, en passant le balai. Et ça vous permet de devenir un entrepreneur libre en consommant un minimum de temps pour avoir un maximum de conseils. entrepreneurlibre.com/podcast.